Am I good?
Sorry, I'm going to walk over
All right,
there.
go ahead.
Welcome to today's event, Roblox 101 with Chaz Smith. Chaz is our new technology educator here at Swan Libraries, and many of you are meeting him for the first time today. I am Cassandra, the CE coordinator at Swan, and I am your host today. Remember that you can check out and register for events like these anytime at swan.li/swan-events. But back to today's event, we are so excited to get started. So if you are ready, Chaz, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay.
All right, it is all yours.
Screen. Hold on, let me get my screen set up and
No worries.
and share. All right, let's
Okay,
see.
good.
We can go ahead and get started. And let me get my chat back up. All right, how is everybody doing today? I see that we got some chat. I see some of my KCPL people are here. Hi, Austin. Hi, Ron. Austin actually helped me with Roblox, so it's kind of fun that he's here with us
Well,
today.
good.
Yeah, he was like my second in command for the Roblox programming. So today we're going to be talking about Roblox, kind of give you a general what is Roblox and how to use it, and how to help patrons that come to your library to use it, and then we'll get into more of the programming stuff with it too. So let's go ahead and kind of a quick about me. I am the new emerging trends and technology educator for Swan Libraries. I got hired at the right at the beginning of this year, and then so I was at the job for about 2.5 months, and then everything kind of went crazy on us, and now we're working from home. So this is my first webinar, so deal with me, or sorry, just kind of deal with it if I make any mistakes or anything like that, because it's probably going to happen. I spent 7 years working in children's service at KCPL, mostly doing STEM programming. And then the next thing I want to say is that I am not a Roblox expert. Roblox is something that I learned. It wasn't something I had any kind of interest beforehand. It just the kids really liked it, and it felt like a natural thing for me to do. Let's see what else we got. Okay, let's talk about what is Roblox. Roblox is a game on PC, mobile devices, and Xbox One. And that's kind of one thing that's really unique about Roblox is that it's on so many different devices. So, and then also, uh, kids love to play it because they can get on any sorry, it lets users create their own avatar and play any number of thousands of games that are all created by other players. In addition to playing games online with friends, they can also build their own games. Now, this is something that kids try to do, but a lot of times they build their own games, but they rarely ever play them. They play the ones made by the professionals. All right, so Roblox's popularity. So this is something that I was kind of surprised to see. Roblox popularity has over 100 million active monthly users, and that's more than Minecraft with 91 million and more than Fortnite. So you hear a little bit more about Minecraft and Fortnite, but Roblox has actually more monthly users than both of those. Also, a quick little fact in there is that a lot of times when people see Roblox, they kind of see it's a similar style to Minecraft, and they think it's a was a copy of Minecraft, but actually Roblox was made first, which I found kind of interesting. So, why is Roblox so popular? It is so popular for a couple different reasons. Number one, Roblox is not an individual game. It's a lot more like an app store than a game in its own right. It has many different games. So that's kind of one thing that's unique compared to again, to the Minecraft, which was one type of game, and a Fortnite, which is one type of game. Roblox has thousands of games in it. You can also play Roblox on any device. So I can kind of talked about that earlier. There's kids play on tablets, they play on their computer, they play on their game consoles. And because the games are user created, there's more unique games on Roblox than anywhere else online. If you want to go to let's see, you can play games like you can go to like a muscle beach where you become a bodybuilder. You can run a pizza shop. There's just the variety of games is so unique to the internet. It's it's unbelievable, really, about how many different games there truly is on Roblox. Um, so there, you'll see in the news sometimes that like anything really with the internet is it safe for children? That's up for major debate. Roblox has put in some filters and abilities to report offensive behavior, but just like anything else on the internet, children will have to be monitored. Let's go ahead and click this link, and this will take us, if it loads. So this is just kind of this would be for the for parents section, and it kind of goes through a few of the safety protocol. So avatar clothing detection. So one of the big kind of controversy with Roblox there for a little while was players were able to make their clothes the same color as their skin, and they look naked on the game. And so recently they've added this clothing detection, and that makes your character always look like they have clothes on. So that was kind of a big hot topic with Roblox for a little bit. So they did fix that. They do have a reporting system. So this is if something doesn't look right, or if kids feel uncomfortable, they can go ahead and report. Chat filters, so you can't use cuss words, and then you can't tell somebody what your real name is or what your real phone number is. And there are parent controls, which I have not used at all. I don't have a child who plays Roblox. So again, if Roblox is it safe for children? They need to be monitored, just kind of like anything else. How to set up a Roblox account. So let's go ahead. Let's go and exit that. So what you would do, let me sign out of my Roblox account. All right. So Roblox is one of the easiest things to sign up for the web. You do not need a phone number. You do not need an email address, and it's so all you need to do is simply enter in your birth date, uh, then your username. That's probably the hardest thing is to find a unique username with over 100 million monthly users. A lot of these usernames are taken, so you have to put a long number at the end of it. Create a password, pick a gender, and then sign up. And then as soon as you do that, you have a Roblox account. So I don't know if there's anything easier than that on the internet to sign up. It's kind of one thing that's kind of funny is that a lot of kids, if they don't, they'll sign up for a new Roblox account almost every day. So they'll come in. So I remember one of our patrons. He would come in and he would forget his password every day, and he would just go ahead and create a new account every single day. Because I mean, honestly, it's just that easy. He didn't really lose that much by doing it. Uh, all right, how to customize your avatar. So what we're going to talk about is that. So one thing that's really important to kids in Roblox is what their avatar looks like, and it's kind of an interesting thing because there's some kids they could care nothing about their personal appearance. They would come into the library, with a torn shirt and dirty clothes or whatever, but they really cared about what their avatar looked like, almost more than what their personal appearance was. So they would go ahead and like spend hours customizing their characters. So what I'm actually going to log in back into my personal Roblox account, and yeah, and my username is Library Taz. I was really unique and figure my day, right? So let's see here. So this is my account, and then what I would do. So to customize your character is first thing you can do is go to your avatar and let it load. So so again, it's just real easy. You would just click the item, and it would go onto your character. It's just taking a while to put that back on. I just click it. So then you just go to Avatar Editor. But the way you get your items is through the Avatar Shop. So the Avatar Shop here, and items will come up for sale. Now these items do cost Robux, and we'll talk about that later. But if you would like free items, I always click on featured and go to price low to high. And so you can get items for free. And to purchase an item, let's see, which item would I not have? Let's look at this hat. And you would just click and click get. And because it's free, we're not worried about spending. You click get. And now you do, I would have that item in my inventory. All right, so I kind of mentioned Robux there for a little bit. Robux is the in-game currency of Roblox. It costs real money to get it. So you'll hear kids talk about if they go to a certain website and stuff, they could get it. Usually that's a website trying to hack their account. So you have to spend real money to get it. It basically lets people buy stuff either in games to help them with the games or the outfits. Robux are, again, they're purchased with real currency and they're only sold by the Roblox company. So either through a gift card or directly off the website. How to add friends. Let's go back to our Roblox account. Close this tab so it doesn't get in my way. And so to add friends, you would just simply go to your friends. And this will be really important if you want to do programming later, because this will be a way you communicate with your patrons. So the easiest way to add friends is to simply search. And there's actually one of Austin's characters right there. I think both of these is um, that I mentioned earlier. So if you're looking, so if their name is like Dogman, you would just search people and players, and then you would find that character, and then you would just go to add friend. So that's really simple to do as well. All right, so let's talk about how to play the actual games. Now, one thing I do want to mention is that every game is different on Roblox. So there's not like one specific way how to play. Like it's so you go into the game and then every game has its own set of rules and the buttons and things are different. So you have to kind of go into the game and figure out how the game is played on each one and the controls. But just kind of how do you get into the game is you go into games and then you can search for a specific game, or a lot of times the kids go to this popular section because these are the games most popular. And so let's see which one I've played before. So go into here, and then you would just go ahead and click this play button, and all this would, and then you either would have to download the Roblox software, but because I have it already downloaded, if I click open Roblox, it's being really slow. So that's how I'll go ahead and join a game. And then again, the rules and things on each game are different. So it will take some time. And then the controls a lot of time is the ASDW and then the mouse to look around. So in this game, this is like a game you would you buy a house and then you fish for money and do different things. That's how you would get into a game to play it. Up and the music's starting. Back to Roblox, my presentation. All right, so now we're going to kind of switch gears and talk about why Roblox is good for library programming. So there's a couple reasons why I think it's really good for programming. First of all, it's free, and most teens and tweens and teens already have an account, so it's not going to be a lot of setup on your part to get them on it because most of them are playing, and some of them even have multiple accounts. It doesn't take a lot of special software to download. Our libraries, our computers at KCPL were pretty locked down. You couldn't do too much on them, but kids had no problem on playing Roblox. And if the kids are using it on their library, they know how to get in, know how to get into it anyways. So they're kind of the experts on how to get on the game and play it. Um, Kind of one thing I like about Roblox is not all Roblox games are bang bang shoot 'em up games. So some of the more popular games on Roblox to be like something like work at a pizza place, and that's what this image here is from. And it just so you don't have to do a game where the kids are shooting at each other to use it in a program. You can pick one of the more wholesome games to do, which I think is really to advantage because it kind of gets you away from that uh, that like mode of gaming. Um, and then the last thing is that what is going on is that it is very popular with boys and girls. So like Fortnite, I felt like it was more popular with boys. Minecraft, a little bit of both, but more boys. There's a lot of girls that play Roblox, and I think that kind of is nice to be able to kind of reach both sides. All right. So how to library program with Roblox? Kind of the first thing is the easiest way to program is have a Roblox open play and just simply reserve computers or a computer lab for kids to gather and play the game. The big thing if you do it there, the kids love it when you play with them. So it's nice to have your account set up and you kind of go in and play with them. They love it, and one of the first things when I usually would play with them, they just want me to follow them around. So we'd go into a game and they'd be like, "Chance, follow me," and I'd follow them around, and then they eventually get bored with me, and then they usually kill my character or something. But they ate it up, and they really love for you to play with them. The second thing is have a Roblox competition or tournament, and with reward prizes to the winner. This can be done remotely, even if you are. We're kind of living in a world where everybody's communicating digitally. If you have their usernames or their account names, you can set up a virtual Roblox tournament because it is all web based and it's made for people to play away from each other. So that's something you could do. You just would have to have their different usernames to get that set up. And then the last one, this is something I have never done, but have a Roblox Builder Club. They all want to be Roblox builders and build their own games. It's not the easiest thing to do, and but I think if you had a group that could kind of work together and encourage each other and give each other tips, maybe that could be a lot of fun, and that could be like a smaller group you had. And those are a couple of ideas I had. You guys probably could think of some other ones. So how to set up the robot competition, and this is the way myself, I did it in the past, and then with a little bit of help from Austin that's in our chat. Uh, One of the first thing is to select a game, and the best games I found are ones with clear cut winners. So then there's not that argument about who the winner is. If you don't pick a game with a clear cut winner, you can award the prize to an MVP, but just kind of be prepared. If you do the MVP, there could be some arguing about why they didn't get the prize over somebody else. So just kind of be ready for that. If you set the kind of the next step, and we'll talk about this a little bit more, is that one of the best things to do is to set up a VIP server. This does cost Robux, but usually the cost is pretty minimum, and the amount varies per game, but usually it's not much. And what's great about setting up the VIP server is that it lets you invite either just your friends or specific users. So then you can really control who's in your game. So if you were doing this with library patrons, you would enter in the usernames, and then they're the only ones access to it. So you won't have anybody from outside either interrupting what you're doing, or this kind of cuts out that aspect of stranger danger, having like somebody creepy in your game or something like that, especially with children that you're supposed to be watching out for. So I do really recommend setting up the VIP server. Make sure everyone starts at one time. And this can be difficult because, like, with that VIP server, they get excited and some of them will log in early. And then so when they do that, if they log in early and start playing, they start getting points, and then so that can mess up when you declare the winner. But you could also subtract those points off at the end. It's kind of it really does make it easier if they all start at the same time. But that can be difficult because they get excited. Um, And then if they do start at different times, you may have to keep score yourself. And but one thing I did is I always had a sheet of paper next to me, and I would reward points for either bad behavior or good behavior. So it was a good way to police it. So if a kid used some foul language or something, I'd be like -5 points, and that would kind of usually straighten them up. But I also, if a kid shows some really good sportsmanship, I may give them some extra points. So that's a good way to kind of reward good behavior and punish bad behavior, but it really helped the policing of the program, which I think is, a lot of times you get some rowdy kids on these games, and it's just a really good way to do that. Uh, all right, so some recommended games. So here's some simple ones. One of them is called The Floor is Lava. That is exactly what it sounds like. So I guess everybody's played that as a kid, where you pretend the floor is lava. And that Roblox game, it's the same thing, except the floor actually is lava, and it slowly raises. So you try to find like the highest point to keep yourself safe, and so that keeps score for you. Another one to be natural disaster. And if you look here, this picture is from that game. Your characters are put onto an island, and then different natural disasters occur. So there'd be a volcano erupt, a tornado, and things, and you have to find places in the game to survive. And then that goes. So you go onto the island. You have one disaster. Players die or you lose, and then and then as that goes, there ends up being some winners, and then it gets reset, and you do it again, and you can kind of pick how many sessions of that you want to do. Another one is hide and seek extreme. These are all pretty standard, like non-violent games. Hide and seek extreme, there isn't that clear cut winner, so you have to pick an MVP, but it's one I did use. Um, it wasn't the best. I like the ones with the clear winner a little bit more. Um, let's see, and let's keep talking. All right. So another thing to kind of think about is a lot of the games can be on the a little bit more on the more violent side, especially with ones with the clear cut winners, because it's like last survivor wins and that kind of thing. This is a personal decision if you want to include these in your programs. Some of the most popular games on Roblox are some of the more violent ones. It just, for whatever reason, it falls like that. I personally had the game Murder Mystery 2 included in my program. And the reason why I chose to pick it was because the kids, they were already playing it in my library. And I really wanted them to do my program. So I didn't want them to think the games I was picking were lame. So I tried to pick things they were already doing. Uh, I think it went over pretty well. The graphics are pretty tame in this, so it's not like overly gory or anything. But again, that's a personal decision if you want to include those kind of things in your program. If you look here, and I just had to include this picture because I thought it was really funny. I do not know why somebody made a game with like a killer Peppa Pig lookalike, but they did, and it's right now it's one of the more popular games on Roblox. Not really sure why, but it seems to be. Um, let's talk about how you would set up that VIP server. That's really important if you're going to use it in programming. So let's go out of this one. Let's go ahead and look at one of the games that I was talking about earlier. Let's go ahead and do The Floor is Lava. All right. So how you would set up that VIP server, which, like I said, I really would recommend. So, oh, there's Peppa Pig again. I don't know why Peppa Pig is a thing on Roblox. That's really strange. Okay, so the floor is lava here, and this is one of the ones we use, and this looks a lot more violent than what it really is. Um, but how you would set up a server is you would go to servers here, and then VIP servers, and this is one I had set up in the past. I have not made payments on my server. I don't play Roblox on a regular basis, but so payment has been canceled. But you on this one, you could have up to 18 players max, and then you would go ahead and just click create VIP servers. It would talk about how much Robux costs. It costs 10. That's less than $1, I believe. And so it's really inexpensive setup, and it does give you a lot of control. And let's see. Let's go ahead and click. This should pull up the options. So after you create your server, this will come up and it gives you some options. First off, you can name your what you want to call your server. If you want to call it like your library's name or Roblox Club, or I might call it Mr. Chaz's Roblox Challenge or whatever you would like. Um, the next part to really kind of think about is if you click friends allow, that's anybody you're already friends with are allowed to enter the server. And that makes it really easy so you don't have to keep adding children in, but it does give you a little less control. And why I say that is that so when I did a Roblox program, most of the kids that were almost all the kids that were participating were in the library with us. But because I had that friends checked, we had a kid from outside the library join our game. He was a friend of mine on Roblox, and he's like, "Can I still win? Can I do this?" I'm like, "No, you got to be present." And then he just kind of threw a fit, and he started, misbehaving in the game, trying to mess it up for others because he could not win. And if I would have invited players by individual names, which is more of a pain, that probably wouldn't exist because he wouldn't have been able to enter the game. So it's easier with the friends, but you can have a little bit more control if you want to invite individual players. This will give you a link so you can send that out if you want to directly click on it. And then again, mine is inactive at the moment. All right, so configuring a VIP server, I just went over that, kind of the same thing. You can name it, and then you can kind of pick on how you let people play your game. The last couple of things is the rewards for winning, which this ended up being one of the more interesting things about Roblox doing the program. It's one of those things I kind of had no idea about, and I learned a lot more about. So the kind of the options I would stick with is kind of Roblox theme stuff. You can obviously do something else. You could 3D print a Roblox trophy, you do gift card, you could do other things, but things that I'd like to do is kind of themed towards towards Roblox, and so Roblox gift cards, and and make sure, and I'll talk about this a little bit more, but make sure to check and see what special items are available when purchased at different stores. So this is the one thing I learned a lot about, and kind of the marketing of Roblox is that if you buy a gift card at like a place like Walgreens, the gift card comes with a specific item for your character to wear. But then if you buy it at Walmart or Amazon or whatever, it comes with a different item. So, and I'll show you that in the next slide. And then the Roblox toys, each box comes with a redeemable code to unlock exclusive virtual items on Roblox. So again, they get the toy, but then they get the item in the game so that their character can wear. And they almost like the digital part better than the physical part because it's really important on how their characters look. So again, kind of back to this, different stores have different exclusive items, which is I felt one of the most interesting thing. So like on this is just a screenshot off their website, but if you look here, Walmart has this like personal poisonous mushroom farm or forest, while as if you buy from Best Buy, you get a DIY dragon head. Like I just thought the marketing here was really interesting with how like different stores have different things. I just thought that was pretty cool, and it's just something I had no idea about. All right, and kind of one of the last things is when in doubt, ask the experts. So you'll never know more than the kids in Roblox. You just never will, especially if you don't play it all the time. It's constantly changing. The kids are going to know more than you ever will. So it's really good to ask them, especially if you're going to play for the first time. If you want to do this in your library, I would really recommend like sitting down with a kid that you trust and have them teach uh, how how to play these games, and they'll really teach you on how to use the stuff the correct way. All right, and I got um, So this has been Roblox 101. I'm Charles Smith, and Resident Trends and Technology Educator at Swan Libraries. And if you have any questions, don't be afraid to email me. I would say call me, but I'm not in the office anymore. But so if you have any questions, please email me them. And I guess we can go ahead and answer any of the questions you guys have asked. Is there a good way to pull those up, Cassandra? Are you?
Absolutely, Chaz. I'm gonna share some with you that I have already. So I got everything set up and then forgot how to do it. Haha.
Yeah,
Um,
of course.
okay, yes. So we have Angie M who wrote, I tried creating an account yesterday in anticipation of this webinar, but I could never get past the verify stage. Any suggestions there?
Okay. Yeah, I've seen kids get hung up, which is funny because I went through an account and made account the other day, and I didn't have to verify it. So I've seen it just from working in the library. The verify where you have to pick. I wonder if she's asking where she has to kind of prove she's not a robot and pick pictures or something like that. I would just try again. Sometimes when there are heavy usage of people signing up, which might be the case right now, that you have to verify. But if you go on a lower peak time, it usually works. So just I would try again.
Okay, and Jill asked, how long are the servers good for?
Good question. I should have said that. They're good for 30 days. So if you're running a Roblox series, that you could pay for the server one time, and it would get you through a series of programs.
Okay. We've got, is this where the Five Nights at Freddy's came from, or is that a whole different world?
Uh,
Um,
Five Five Nights at Freddy. There is copies of that on Roblox, but I do believe it's its own separate game. So there are some clones on Roblox because they can make any game they want, but it did not originate on Roblox.
okay, and actually, I see that um, one of our people in the chat helped answer this question about where the servers are. So Jill actually said you can find the service tab on a specific gamers page, but I didn't know if you wanted to
Yeah,
go over that more, Chaz.
yeah, and I can show her again. Where is it? Okay, there it goes. So again, if you want to find the servers, like the VIP server stuff, all you do, and maybe I didn't clarify this, and the internet's going slow today, is if you, so we'll look at our strange Peppa Pig game with the killer baseball bats, and if you go ahead and so you just click on the game you're wanting to get the server on, and then you just click the servers tab. And once you have that servers tab, you can go ahead and create the VIP server. So this one's a little bit more expensive, but it says 100 Robux. And let's see what that would convert to. So if you go to buy Roblox, it should tell us. So you can get, for $5, you get 400 Robux. So that would cost you like $1.25. So not bad for a month to be able to do a program with. I don't think, at least. I think that's pretty reasonable.
Not at all, exactly. Okay, so I've got, oh good, I can't see the question if I'm in that view. Ron wanted to know any tips on how to know if a kid is trustworthy, because you were talking about the trustworthy kids.
Yeah, so I mean, myself, I mean, I worked the children's desk a lot, so I really got to know the kids. So it was kind of easy to pick which kid, to kind of sit you down and teach you some things with Roblox. I think you just got to go off your personal experience with the children. I don't know if there's a real true way to know if a kid's trustworthy or not without just getting to know
All right, and then we had Molly who asked, if we were to host a remote challenge on a VIP server while we are closed, would all of the users need to be using the same platform? Like, could some people play on PC and
them.
Xbox and some on, and then she said iPad. Apparently, it cuts off a certain amount of text, which is good to know.
Yeah. Um, so if you would go ahead, I'm not 100% sure because all my users have always been on computer. That's a really good question. Um,
Hmm.
Molly, if I can get, I'll try to find that and get back to you on that some way because I'm not sure at this moment.
We're definitely, as usual, we're all entering kind of a brave new world of
Yeah.
things
because
here that we don't always know about. Yeah.
yeah, because you could definitely do it virtually because it's all web-based, but I am not sure about the different platforms. I'm thinking you can, but I don't wanna say 100% sure.
Austin wants to know who is better at Roblox,
Oh,
Austin or Chaz? Austin.
Austin for sure. There's no argument about it. Austin's a lot better than me.
That's a very good question, Austin. Okay, and I'm not seeing any other questions come in. I'm going to give it just a second and see if I see anything else because I don't want to take away anybody's opportunity to ask a question. But it does look like we are wrapping up there. Um, so if no one else has any more questions, or Chaz, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
Uh, no, I don't think so. I think we're pretty good.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, and thank you all so much for attending today. And I do want to let you know that our webinars and PCI's webinars are available for archive viewing. So I'm going to share some links coming up, and if you can't ever show up at the time of the event, then please make sure that you register, and you will always get an archive.
Mhm.
So again, thank you, Chaz. Thank you all for attending. We hope that you enjoyed today's